The time is 4 o'clock. We bring to you news around Africa. The United Arab Emirates (UAE) has stopped supporting Somalia's army, including training its soldiers and paying their salaries, after a diplomatic fallout between the two nations. The Somali government has been angered by Emirati plans to train security forces in the breakaway region of Somaliland, and 4 days ago told the UAE that they no longer needed its help. Since 2014, the Gulf states have been involved in training hundreds of troops from Somalia's army. The UAE says it has been paying the salaries of 2,407 soldiers and has built 3 training centers and a hospital. A firm based in Dubai is helping to develop a major seaport in Somaliland. Uganda's government says it may take in 500 African asylum seekers from Israel. Israel wants to relocate thousands of Africans, mostly Eritreans and Sudanese, that it says entered Israel illegally. Uganda State Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Musa Ekwelu, at a news conference in Kampala, acknowledged the request from Israel. The UN Refugee Agency says some 4,000 African asylum seekers have voluntarily left Israel for Uganda and Rwanda since 2013. Reports both countries have continuously denied. Israel is home to about 40,000 African asylum seekers, most of them from Eritrea and Sudan, who say they cannot return home for fear of conflict or oppression. In January, Israel issued an ultimatum to the single men in the group, accept a cash payment and plane tickets to a third country in Africa, or face detention and deportation. The Israeli government's plan to begin forced deportations in April has been put on hold by Israel's Supreme Court. A rocket and car bomb attack on French and UN soldiers in Mali has left one person dead and many others injured. Militants disguised as UN peacekeepers in distinctive blue helmets and driving a vehicle marked with the UN logo struck 2 bases near the airport in Timbuktu. The UN mission confirmed one of its peacekeepers had been killed. More than a dozen others, including many French soldiers, were wounded, according to the government. The UN mission has been deployed in Mali since the 2013 Tuareg separatist uprising. It has more than 11,000 troops and 1,741 police, and is considered one of the UN's most dangerous missions. Before Saturday's rocket and car bomb attack, 162 UN personnel have been killed in the 5 years since the mission began. The US government has called on East African leaders to release 5 unpublished reports documenting violations of South Sudan's failed December ceasefire and to punish those responsible for the violations. The 5 unreleased reports include an investigation into a February 12 attack by government forces near Nasir. The team had submitted the Nasir reports to the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, Council of Ministers. It has overseen 4 years of unsuccessful peace efforts in South Sudan and wanted to use sanctions to hold to account commanders during the country's brutal civil war. The East Africa Regional Bloc mandated an international military monitoring mission, known by its acronym SAM, to investigate alleged ceasefire violations. The regional bloc is set to meet in Ethiopia beginning April 26 for a third round of talks aimed at resuscitating the December ceasefire. A court in the self-declared Republic of Somaliland has sentenced a young poet to 3 years in jail. Nasima Quran was found guilty of bringing the state into contempt while advocating for Somaliland to reunite with Somalia. Miss Quran was arrested in January after returning from the Somali capital, Mogadishu, where prosecutors said she had recited poetry calling for Somali unity. After a ferocious civil war, northwest Somalia broke away from the rest of the country and declared itself as an independent Somaliland. The prosecution said that she had labeled the self-declared Republic of Somaliland a region and insulted and defamed its government. Somaliland's Human Rights Center has asked the government of Somaliland to release Nasima Quran and respect human rights. That was Africa Today. I am Tobi Joseph. Good afternoon.